Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Today, I am going to share with you a normal day in the life video for our family. I have 3 children, 4 and under, and days can get hectic around here very quickly. At the same time, though, we have other days that go really smoothly, and today happened to be one of those days. It's the day that we're going to the library, and my sister and I like to make it a tradition to go weekly together, and she brings her little one and I bring my 3 little ones, and it's a great way for them to interact and to play with other children. Now that we're back home, I wanted to keep our little ones busy, so I did this fun craft with them where I took some brown construction paper and I cut out the trunk of a tree. I freehanded this, but you could certainly print out a picture of a tree trunk, cut that out and use it as a stencil if you'd like it to look a little more even. Then I pasted the tree trunk onto a white sheet of paper with my kids, just using glue sticks. And we have these dot markers. I'll post the link for those below. I found them on Amazon. They're non-toxic, and my kids were able to make leaves using the dot markers by stamping dots all over where the tree trunk is. And it was a really great activity for them to do. So now I'm going to share with you one of our favorite snack recipes, and that is sourdough crackers. I've been cooking with sourdough for about 2 months now, and at first I was so intimidated by it. But now that I've tried out several recipes over and over again, it truthfully just becomes easier, and it brings me so much comfort knowing that it is providing good nutritional value to my children. And so I have been experimenting with crackers, and they are something that I bake on a weekly basis, if not more than that, because we go through them so quickly. My children just love eating these things, and they're so fast to make. It truthfully takes about half an hour to make these crackers. It goes by very fast, and I'm able to have a little jar of crackers on hand for snack time. And the recipe that I use comes from kingarthurbaking.com. I make a few changes in the recipe just for our taste and for the ingredients that we have on hand, but it's really easy. You basically take 1 cup of sourdough starter and a cup of all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon of sea salt, if not more. If you like your crackers a little saltier, you can certainly add more salt. Then you add in 4 tablespoons of, for us, we like to use grass-fed salted butter at room temperature. And then we like to add in 2 tablespoons of everything but the bagel seasoning to the crackers. You can certainly use a different type of herb if you'd like. We've also done rosemary and sage, and those are really delicious. But you basically combine all those ingredients together in a bowl, nothing really fancy to it. And once you've done that, you kind of have this ball of dough to work with. And so you take that and you roll it out very thinly. If you like to have crispy crackers, I would roll them as thin as you could possibly make them. Otherwise, they'll come out a little bit thicker and not as crispy or crunchy. It'll be a little bit more of a softer cracker, which is fine too. Depending on your preference, you can make them thin and crispy or thicker and a little doughier. I like them both ways actually, but my kids prefer really nice and thin. So that's what we shoot for. And the thinner they are, the more they kind of have that Cheez-It taste to them. It's really interesting. So you roll it out and you cut them into the shape that you like. For us, we like to cut them into little squares for the kids. And once you've done that, you take your fork and you make little tiny holes on the crackers. And once you've done that, you put them into the oven at 350 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes or until they reach a desirable brownness for you. Now, my husband likes them to be a little bit more on the golden side, and I like them a little bit on the lighter side. So that part is certainly up to preference, but they are such a fun and easy snack to whip up for the kids, and we like to just keep them on hand all the time because I don't feel guilty having to give them to the kids when they're craving a snack. Per usual, my kids love to help me in the kitchen, and this is a really foolproof recipe to include your children and not feel like, if they help out, it might throw the recipe off, because all you're doing is just mixing dough and rolling it out. And I haven't had any issues with overworking the dough because, like I said, I make this all the time with the kids and they love to play around with the dough like it's Play-Doh, and they always come out really delicious. So I definitely recommend you give these crackers a try, and I'll post the recipe the way that we like to make them down below in case you'd like to give them a shot. At this point in the day, our house is pretty much bombed, which is normal. I feel like there's a small window where our home stays very clean. And right now, after baking and doing crafts and playing Fords in the living room, our house is a little bit upside down. So I do my best during this window between lunch and dinner time to kind of wrap things up and have things ready to go so that by the time we serve our next meal, I'm not just completely overwhelmed with dishes. So we're a normal family, and part of it means living in your home, and this is what that looks like until we get it all squared away. Given the craziness from the day, I decided just to do a really simple meal, a one-pot meal, and that was pumpkin and black bean chili. And as long as I stick to this schedule, our home is put back together and reset to start off the next day. Well, once again, my friends, thank you for stopping by. I hope you found this video to be encouraging. I think sometimes it's easy to get lost in that world of perfection that's out there on social media, and hopefully by watching this video, you can see that there is some truth to that, where our homes should look tidy and we do the best to keep them tidy, but it's also understandable that in a household that has a bunch of little children, it's not going to stay perfectly tidy at every point in the day, and it's important to give ourselves a little bit of grace, and that's the best way to keep ourselves calm and to be able to provide for our children a space that they feel is safe and welcoming. Have a blessed week, and I'll talk again with you all soon.